It's time for the mongrel, and I've been looking forward to doing this episode. I've been looking forward to start it, as a matter of fact, but I've been wanting to wait until I've been at a happy place with the Ducati, and which I am in a happy place. I'm not as far along the process as I hoped to have been, but anyway, I always had the intention of starting the mongrel just at the start of summer. And so whilst we're going to be waiting for parts of the Ducati, we're in lockdown still at the moment, so getting access to CNC milling and 3D printing, and even the vacuum pump and the facilities to do the carbon fibre shell is going to be limited at this very moment. So why not start the mongrel? Here they are. A few bits at least. So I had the intention of building the mongrel since last October, and I've been accumulating parts since then. Now the mongrel is going to be a unique build. Let's get everything on this tray. Now, everything revolves around this tank here. This is the first purchase that I did for the mongrel. This is a moped tank. It's a Puch MV50 moped tank, and it doesn't hold that much, as you can see. So the entire idea was to build a bike around this, and I wanted to build a bobber, but at the same time I wanted to build a salt flat racer. So the two came together, and I absolutely love this tank. What I am going to do is leave this tank exactly as it is. I'm not going to respray it, I'm not going to touch up these marks here, I'm not even going to touch up where the decals have actually come off on the other side. That is going to stay as it is. Now the reason it's called the mongrel, because obviously Puch is another word for a dog. Because I'm using several different parts from several different bikes, as a dog of different breeds goes, it's called a mongrel. I've heard other people on Instagram, on YouTube, calling it Frankenbob, which I quite like. So obviously with this tank we need a frame to go with it, and I thought as a good start, why not use a Honda CB650 frame. Okay, so this frame is a little bit dusty at the moment because I've been doing all my fiberglassing and sanding and everything. But this is essentially I don't even know what year it is. I've got the title for this bike. Comes with a reg plate and everything. But obviously, because of the amount of customizing work that I'm going to be doing to it, that's completely void. So it's going to have to go through its own registration process again if I was going to take it on the road. But I'm not. This is going to be strictly a racer. Not a road bike, just a racer, because it's going to be so impractical. So impractical for that matter. A tank doesn't fit and it looks a bit silly. We like that. So I was lucky enough to pick up this frame really cheap. Comes with a center stand because I need more center stands to put on my trophy ceiling up there. As I was picking up the frame, I did utter the words to the guy who's selling it. Have you got a swing arm? He said, yes, I do. I thought, yes. Okay, might as well do that. And so we have a tank and a frame. Starting to build something now. Which leads me to this corner of the workshop, to this wheel here. It's not the fattest, especially for something like a salt flat. And so we have a rear wheel. Don't ask me what this is off. I have no idea. If anybody knows, help me out here. I've got no idea. It's got ridges on the inside. It's a drum brake wheel, 4 studs, and at a guess, what would I say that is? Is that a no, that wouldn't be a 17 mil. I haven't got my calipers to hand. But does anyone recognise where this wheel's come from? Not that it matters, I'd just like to know a bit of the history about it, to know what parts I'm putting together. But that is the wheel. And it's going to be really low. So the idea is, all this is going to go. All that is going to be, it's going to look like a hardtail bobber. But the swing arm will be used, so it's still got that flexibility, but we're going to make it look like it's a hardtail. And that's where these bad boys come in. Because I'm going to go with the orange tank, I thought of getting a pair of shocks that were close to orange in a way, but really not. I know what you're thinking, it's going to be twin shock. No, it's not. It's going to be a monoshock. So what we're going to have is, inside here, probably up here somewhere, it's going to have 2 shocks running parallel all the way to where the back wheel is. And what will then happen is that from there, you can see that it's got the same distance as where the hoop is for the swing arm. We're going to be replicating that hoop at the top, so it wraps around the wheel and then secures itself down to the shock mounts down there. So that in turn is going to be kind of a bobber style, but not a hard-tailed bobber. Okay, so we're going to be cutting the frame, putting a couple of shocks on, fitting a tank that doesn't fit or look right at the top and making a bobber out of it. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Let's put these away. Oh, my finger's stuck. Yeah. So I wanted a challenge. Yes, the Ducati Monster over there is a challenge because I'm creating a complete new shell for it. But I needed a challenge for this. And that's where this comes in. This is a Honda VFR750 V4 engine. Now, it doesn't take a genius to see that that's not going to fit. It's not going to fit at all. It's not going to fit, not one bit. Now, I was lucky enough to pick this up and I got the carbs separately, and the carbs themselves are a work of art. Right, let's attempt to move this engine onto there. Actually, I'm going to move that frame off it. Boy, I regret moving that engine. Holy moly, that is heavy as anything, even without the carbs, and the carbs themselves are heavy. Now, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that that engine isn't going to fit in that hole. I mean, first of all, it's kind of a square engine, if you know what I mean. It's nearly square. I mean, it tapers off at the bottom, but it's kind of a square shape. That isn't. That's obviously because of the nature of the CB. You've got your heads going up one side, and then you've got your crankcase at the bottom, all your gears in there, and then you've got your carburetors, your air filters. So everything kind of swoops down. I don't even think the height of this is anywhere near what I want it to be. So this is where the angle grinder comes in. Pretty much all we're going to be left with is possibly this back section here. All this is going to go, and probably all this top bit is going to go. So I'm just left with the steering column here and these two bars, and that's going to be it. And then we're going to rebuild the entire new frame around the engine down to there. Obviously, yes, I know, before anyone points it out, the engine is the wrong way around. Yes, let me turn it around for you. So this is the orientation that the engine will be. Sprocket is at the back. So this was a running engine before I bought it. Obviously I need radiators for it. I need the entire wiring loom, I need ignition coils, I don't actually know too much about this engine, but I know one thing for sure. That is not a standard automotive connection. So that is my challenge, to create the mongrel from all these pieces here. And that wheel. I'm not going to start today. This video is just an introduction to what's going to come. I've got a bit more work to do on the Ducati first. So I can imagine that this episode is probably going to be about 2-3 weeks away from where I start hacking away at this. I need several grinding discs and a lot of good luck to get all this to fit. What have I taken on? I'm just looking at it now. I don't even think, have I got a tape measure here? So what shall we say for that? I mean, there's room at the back, so just to be on the safe side, 14 inches, right to the very front. Obviously it depends where that head goes up there. Yeah, let's just call it 15 inches for now. Oh, 15 inches down there. 15 inches in fact. That bottom bit might actually fit in as it is. But that is it. So if you like what you see, if you think that this project shouldn't ever go ahead, then you've got exactly the same thoughts as me. This project shouldn't ever happen or start. But I mean, what's the point of creating a bike that I've created before? I've never tried to mash different bikes of different years, different genres, of different proportions and different uses. So if you want to find out what happens with this, and if you want to stay updated as well with the Ducati Monster build as well, then subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, you can find out what's going on with all this. And as well, the website is live for theboatindustries.com. It has been on a holding page for ages. There's loads of merchandise available down there. A bit more information about each bike, parts and things like that as well, so you can visit there. So until next week, see ya.